This is Solomon, your brother again. We are still on the solar installation project. As I promised you guys that whenever or whatever project we have, we'll keep our camera on and make sure you follow the project from the beginning till the end. I've seen the beginning of this project before we put these machines up. We call this box bar. I don't know what you call it over there in America. We call this box bar, and we call this charge control, solar charge control, and we call this inverter. I'll tell you guys the function. Each of these devices has their function, have their roles to play on solar supply energy. So I will tell you the functions later, but right now we're doing connection. You guys as watchers installing the panel on top of the roof, you watch us assembling the batteries and connecting them. I've explained that to you before. Right now, where these are the cables that come from the panels up. We're doing serial connections, as I said. So we're connecting, doing the connection from up the roof to we're trying to put it on the charge control. But before then, we have to put it on the box bar first to split it. Okay, so keep watching and see what we're doing. Please, if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe button. Also click on the notification button so that each time we post new video, you will be the first to watch it. Also, drop your comment. Thank you guys and keep watching. Now this is called cable locks. We use this to lock the cable. So we lock the cable on the cable locks. Right now we're going to sellotape it. We have our proper tools to it. So guys, we lock the cable with the cable lock. Also sellotape it. So we're connecting the whole cable to the bar. In this stage now, you have to be very careful when you are connecting your panels to the box bar. You know why? The black signify, let me use the electrical name, neutral. But a layman call it negative and positive. But electrical name, this is the neutral and this is live. So in this issue now, why you must be very careful when you are connecting this place is because the neutral and live must not have any contact. If you by mistake make each of them to have contact, that means you've blown off the whole solar panel up the roof. So you must be very careful how you connect them. But first, what I do, I sellotape them out so that they will not have in contact with the live. So I put it in carefully, as you can see. carefully and pick it up from here. Then free to lose the Sellotape now. Give me the knife. This point, you have to be very careful. Already we have gotten 132 volts. It's not even hot right now because it's just finished raining, but we're having a very good voltage around here right now. Solar connections, you must make sure anything tightable, you must make sure you tight it very firm to avoid leakage or what we call short circuit. Okay, make sure they are tight. We numbered so that we put indication so that we know the panels, which cable connect to which panel up. In case of any fault or maintenance, we can know where to detect where the fault comes from. So this is, like as I said, this is a cable lock. This is a cable. You know, we're using 16 mm to connect the panel down here. Like we said, we are connecting serially. You can see numbers of cable that is coming from the panel here. And that's 16 mm we use on that. But it's a special, it's not electric cable. It's a special cable for solar. And this is the cable lock. We lock the cable. And the next thing you have here is the insulation tape. Insulation tape is simply means the non-conductor of electricity. You know, electrons flow from conductor, but non-conductor prevent flow of electrons. And as I can briefly give you the definition of electric current, sorry. Electric current simply means the flow of electrons in a circuit. So what helps the electrons to flow in a circuit is what we call conductor. And if I give you a good example of a conductor, is copper. I have a lot, but we are not in the class for now. Like what I always say to my fans, always share our link, because what we are doing, we are trying to encourage all African youth to start, doing what we are doing, for them to see interest in what we are doing and pick up. You can learn online with us as I'm working, I'm teaching. You can follow us up and learn. So remember what I said. You must make sure you are careful that any of the pole that is alive don't have contact with neutral, and neutral don't have any contact with live. That is why before I put it in, I will be very careful by insulating the connector before fixing it in. That's what you can see right now. is what we are professional doing. As I always tell you, I'm a qualified engineer. I learned so many fields when it comes to building. That is why my company name is Living Solution Engineering. It's actually a solution to living. Domestic living, I mean. I don't give life, but I solve all technical issues on domestic. I'm a structural engineer, also electrical engineer, plumbing, solar engineer. I do tiling and I teach people. So it is the reason I decided to do this myself and not my boy doing it. There are some jobs I allow my boys to do it. A sensitive job like something that involves current. You know, current is something you enjoy and it's very, very destructive when you mishandle it. So in times of such issue, I decided to use my hand to make sure you get on with the proper installation. Hello guys, we are done with the connection of the cables. We want to pack the wire now and cover it. Okay guys, we are done with the connection of the cable from the panel upstairs. Now we want to connect the battery. Before we connect, this is the charge control. So this whole thing has to be connected to this charge control. Then this goes to the battery. But before, this is very, very compulsory. Before you connect the panel to the charge control, you must first of all connect the battery to the charge control before this. If not, you're going to blow up your charge control. So let's do that now. I'm happy you follow us by the way we connect the panel, solar panel. It's a big panel. Each of them is 375 watts. That's a very big panel. Then right now, we finish connecting and also connect, which I will show you one after another. Then right now we're connecting we have connected the battery to the, can you take the camera down please? We have connected the battery positive to the terminal of the inverter. We also connect the negative terminal to the negative terminal of the inverter. That is the DC that has been connected. Right now we want to connect the output which is the AC. We are connecting the output right now. Show you something guys. See how this cable comes from the panel from the roof. I will show you all the things as we are rounding up the connection here and explain their functions. First, I will start with the batteries. We're not done with the batteries yet. Actually, this installation will take 16 batteries, but we've installed 10 batteries at the moment. As you can see, I've explained to you the looping, how we loop it to get 24 volts, because this inverter you see here is 24 volts, and the battery is always 12 volts. So we loop each of these battery plus to minus. We add them plus minus and we get 24 volts. I've explained that before. The first is battery and the connection. I want to explain stage by stage. As a very big battery, and it is dry cell battery, very strong. It's number one solar recommended battery, as you can see. So that's number one. Then we have battery terminals. The one we use, you have plus and minus, the one we use. And we have cable locks, you see. I'm explaining all the materials to you. Then we have insulation tapes, as you can see here, right here. Then we are done with that. The cable size, I always also want to talk about the cable size that we use for this installation. The cable size is the one we used in looping the battery are 50 mm. Because this installation is a strong one, it's a very heavy duty. So if you use anything less than 50 mm, when charging, this cable is going to be heated and sometimes melt and can breach together. So this is 50 mm, as you can see. If you can see that very well, this is 50 mm. And we are done with the battery now. Then the battery function. I will talk about the function later. Then we have the inverter. This American product. It's a sine wave inverter. Very strong inverter. Those of you that engineer that knows something about solar installations, you understand what I mean by pure sine waves inverter. This Magnum pure sine wave inverter, and the battery produce DC energy. What are we looking for in this solution? We're looking for what type of current are we looking for? We have two types of current. We have the DC current and we have the alternating current. Now DC, but this battery produces DC current for us, which you cannot use it for electrical appliances. So for us to be able to use it for electrical appliances, we have to have an inverter. The function of inverter is to convert the DC to AC. If you can see underneath, here goes in the DC voltage, and here comes out the AC voltage. The AC voltage becomes the input voltage of this inverter, and the DC voltage become the input voltage of this inverter. Then the AC voltage become the output voltage of this inverter. So the DC enter from here and converted. This machine converted to AC, and the DC become AC and supply to the unit in the house, as you can see. So the function of the inverter is to convert the DC to AC. Then we don't cover it yet. You might not know what it looks like. Here it is what it looks like when I cover it. Some of you knows about this charge control. It's all sold at Living Solution Engineering shops. You know about this inverters from US. Okay, this charge control. So what it means right now, what is the function of the charge control? You know, the panel produces solar energy that charges the battery, and if without this charge control, the battery would charge and overcharge and get damaged, either explode or get damaged. So the function of this device is to make sure when the battery is fully charged, it will stop charging. When the battery comes low and needs charging, it will automatically turns in the charging system and start charging immediately. So therefore, the charge controller control the charging system of the battery that you can see. It said solar charge controller. So you control when the battery is full, you need to stop charging. When the battery is less, you need to start charging. Then we have the box bar. It's like a splitter. You can say splitter. I don't know what you call it over there, but we call it the box bar. So now you see, The connection we do up on the panel is called serial connection. I will show you that in my next video. Let me not talk about that in my drink confusion. So each of the series that we connect drop down positive, negative. Each of the series drop down positive, negative. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 series from the panel. That's the positive and neutral. So this box bar will be able to help us, since the wire that is coming down is many. It will be able to help us. Its function is to assemble the wire properly, like you can see. And when you are connecting this, you have to be very careful. Very careful. It shocks because the current produced by the panel is very high at this very point here. It shocked, number one. Number two, you can see 2 colors of cable here. You have the red and the black. The black signifies neutral. The red signifies life, as positive, you might call it. So you'll be very careful in the sense that you will not allow the red to have in contact with the black, or the black to have in contact with the red. If that happens, it's going to destroy the solar panel up there. Okay, guys. So the function of this is to make sure the cables from the panels is coming a lot in series. So you can see about, if you count all, it will be like more than 16 cables when we finish. So this function is to help assemble the cable like what you see. I believe you see me doing that, and it was fantastic. So I'll drop the video now. Please, if you are new to this channel, click on the subscribe button, subscribe and support your brothers. As you do that, God will bless you. And also share this link, because you never know. As our channel is not only to show our work, but also teach and encourage the youth. You never know, you can encourage a young youth brother somewhere to start learning this work online, or you go to school to learn, but also learn online with us, because we'll be putting our video on as we do each video, and the brother can start doing something in the future. As you can see, this brother standing here is a dedicated boy. He has come to Living Solution to learn about this installation. In a few years' time, he will become professional to this, because I'm going to train him and make sure he's a professional to this. When he starts working on this, I will show you a video of his installation, okay? So drop your comment about what you think about our job, how neat our job is, and my explanation. May God bless you as you do that. Thank you very much.